People are like, who is DanielleVictor? And I'm like, bitch, it's Danny with 2 N's. Am I a fashion blogger? Maybe. Am I a storyteller? For sure. Am I a badass bitch? Absolutely. So if you're smart, you'll subscribe to my channel.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't mind my clothes on my couch. I was doing some shit, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't cleaned up yet. I have a little bit of a stomach ache, but I'm gonna try to bang out a story time for y'all. And also, I don't know if any of you watched my candy video with Randy or Cass, where we had an argument where the mini ones taste different than the big ones. Well, here's a mini one. And it in fact tastes different than a large one. Can you guys hear my roommate's TV? Because if you can, I apologize, and it's gonna be far too late filming the story time for me to do anything about it. Anywho, so I titled this story time, thank you for the dick box. And that is the story I'm about to tell you about how you shouldn't be the nice bitch, the considerate bitch, the thoughtful bitch, especially after you get dick. After you get dick, you should most importantly treat people like absolute shit. That's really loud. I'm gonna get copywritten, hold on. Pause. I'm back, and actually these tiny ones taste like fucking ass. I'm gonna give it one more go. I'm gonna try it one more time. It tastes like poison. What if I got the batch where someone put some shit in the candy? Because this tastes like poison. This mini Reese's tastes like poison. You guys, it's not, nope, oh God. Anything is better. Damn, and I literally put him in a zip, because I have this like thing in my living room. It's Christmassy. My mom sent it to me last Christmas because I wasn't home for Christmas, so she sent me, my mom makes homemade cookies. So she sent me homemade cookies in this tin container, and I kept it. And the apartment's obviously decked out in Christmas shit. So I put all my leftover Halloween candy in here. So whenever someone comes over, which is never, my roommate Matt has literally eaten all of these. You hear him, yeah, he's eaten like every single one of these. So if this is gone in like a day or two, the next time I do a story time, trust and believe I've had no one over. Matt just ate them all. He swears he only eats the Kit Kats, but I've seen him eat the Jolly Ranchers and the Twizzlers. But anyways, I thought it was cute to put the candy in here, and I decided to take all my leftover mini Reese's and take them out because I thought they would be so good, because I've been hyping them up. Like, mini ones are so much better than the big ones, and that just tasted like poison. Some of us would just put the Reese's. Okay, anyways, back to the story time. When I first moved to California, I didn't know anybody. I wasn't friends with anybody. I had no family here. I just don't want the jeans in the frame. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out. Now the jacket's in the frame, so that's annoying. Nope, I don't want my kitchen. Get your shit together, Danielle. Okay, anyways, I didn't have anybody out here, and I made the vast and quick and bad decision to move to Level downtown. Now, I don't know if any of you know what Level is, but it's a hotel slash they have apartment suites. It was $5,550 a month. So me and a roommate paid $25 a month each. That's like, I should have been living in a fucking mansion. Let's get a little sexy here. I should have been living in a mansion at that point, but I wasn't. I was living in Level downtown, and it was fully furnished, and I thought it would be easier. The rooms were literally smaller than my kitchen. I had no closet space. I had nowhere to put my shit. It was a horrible, horrible experience. So one of the first people that I met out here was this Middle Eastern Persian guy. I'm not gonna drop his name because he ain't shit. But he was good looking and he was in shape, and I was like, ooh, I've never, like in Boston, you don't really see Middle Easterns, like the Middle Eastern men out here in Los Angeles. So he's the first Middle Eastern that I came across, and I was like, goo goo gaga, goo goo gaga. He's so cute. He's so hot. He has abs. He owns a gym. I'm going to fuck him. I'm gonna date him. I'm gonna marry him, not thinking that Middle Easterns have like a really, like their families are really strict. Like if you're Middle Eastern, you better be marrying a Middle Eastern. Can't bring somebody who doesn't speak Farsi home for Christmas, because they're all gonna be talking shit about you in Farsi. So anyone who's thinking about coming out here who's not Middle Eastern and wants to date a Middle Eastern, there you go. I just told you the 411. So anyways, he like owned a gym and asked me if he could personal train me, and I was like, I don't really, like, I'm not really a worker outer. Like I do have a trainer now, if you even want to call him that, but I work out with him once a month. Not by choice, but like he literally only hits me back once a month. Shout out to you. But besides the point, I was like, yeah, I'm not really, like, I'm currently, like, as he was texting me and DMing me, I was at In-N-Out Burger, eating a burger. I'm like, me meeting you for the first time in workout clothes, no makeup, sweating, and trying to catch my breath because I'm so out of shape is really not my ideal situation. But, like, sure, like, I entertained it so we could have a little bit of conversation. He's like, well, what are your plans tonight? And I was like, I'm actually gonna try to go out because I haven't been out since I moved here. And he was like, well, I'm going to a wedding. Maybe we can meet up later. And I was like, what's later? Like, I'm not meeting up with you at 2 o'clock in the morning because I like literally don't hook up on the first night. It's just not my thing. No guy, I guess, in LA believed that. And I didn't know that yet because I'm new. Like, I don't know how LA works. I didn't know the vibe. I didn't get like the manual that said this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this is how it happens, and this is what happens, and then you gotta do this, and you gotta say that, and you gotta wear this, and you gotta go here, and you gotta hang out with who, and this, and that. I didn't have any of that. So I didn't know that even when you tell a guy that you don't hook up on the first night, they don't believe you. Because every bitch in LA is a liar. Okay? Except for me. Except for me. Okay, except for me. One of my light bulbs just blew out in my mirror and it's bothering me. I'm like trying not to focus on it while I'm talking to you guys, but it's literally my entire and only focus. So whatever, I go to Bootsy Bellows, okay? It's downpouring, like torrential downpours. And we're like texting all night. He seems sweet and kind and like giving me all the attention I fucking need and deserve in the world. From a man. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, I can do this. So I end up going to Kitchen 24 after, which is absolute trash, by the way. If you come to LA, don't go to Kitchen 24 for a midnight snack. Food is absolute garbage, instant diarrhea, don't do it. I luckily didn't have diarrhea that night. I got diarrhea another night, but still, horrible experience. So he goes, I'm gonna pick you up in my Uber. I go, okay. So I tell him I'm at Kitchen 24. It's downpouring. I get into the car. My hair is like blow dried from Dry Bar. Okay, so it's puffy as shit to begin with. It's not this blow dry. Like, Allura Hughes in Beverly Hills literally knows how to do ethnic girls' hair. They're like a blessing. I found them. Some girl was promoting them in Target. But this is like how their blow dry look like. Imagine this, but like poofy. Like a white person blew dried my hair and didn't know how to do it. No offense, Matt. And I get into the car and the first thing he says, because I'm carrying, when I was at Bootsy Bellows, I was carrying like these roses. Like, I think I got 2 bouquet of roses. It was like about 24 of them. It was just like the whole thing was just in my arms. So the first thing he says to me, meeting me in person, because we haven't met in person at this point, is, who the fuck gave you those roses? And you would think like any normal chick would be like, who are you swearing at? But I like a little bit of crazy. So I was like, oh, you know who got me these roses? 2 different motherfuckers in the club that thought I was cute. So we're driving, it's pouring. He rolls down his window on his side of the back seat, grabs the roses out of my hands and tosses them out the window and says, no one's gonna be buying you roses from here on out except for me. And I was like, I love you. So we pull up to my fucking crib downtown and he's like, why don't you just come to my apartment? And I go, I'm not coming to your apartment. Meanwhile, I'm not shaved or waxed. 2, my period is about to come in like literally 3-4 days. 3, I just met you. 4, I told you I don't fuck on the first night. So he goes, well, I'm coming up then. I go, if you can come up to my apartment, for sure, without a doubt. But if you come up, I just want you to know I'm not sleeping with you tonight. He's like, okay, yeah, for sure. So he whips out a bag of COKE. He's like, do you want to do a little cocaine? I was like, no, I don't do cocaine. I did it once in my life. I'm never doing it again. So he does like a quick line in the car, and like before we go inside, we have like this great make-out session in the back seat of the Uber. It's like this Uber XL. It was a Suburban or whatever, black. And the Uber driver got pissed and was like, hey man, if you're gonna hook up, you gotta get out of the car. I'm like, chill, we're just like making out. Like, can't we just make out? I'm drunk, he's high on cocaine, probably drunk too. Like, can't we just like make out? So we end up going up to my room and he just like takes off all his clothes. Like all his clothes. I'm like, he looked like he was super tan, like darker than me. And I'm like, does he fake tan? Or is he just like, does he look like that naturally? Or did he enhance it? Like, I'm just kind of like examining his body up and down. I'm like, whoa, he's really good looking, you know? So, besides the point, taking a trip down memory lane with this motherfucker, huh? So, he gets naked and I go, you can get naked all you want. Like, I'm not hooking up with you. He goes, can you at least kiss me? So I was like just like a quick. And I was like, I'm really tired. Can we go to bed? He goes, yeah, let's go to bed. So he like cuddled me all night. Didn't try to fuck me. Didn't give me like, you know when guys like sit behind you and they try to do like the dick pump, so their hard ass dick hits like the inside of your butthole in hopes that like maybe that'll get you horny and maybe you'll fuck them after. And it's like, dude, he didn't even try that. We just fell asleep. So, and I fell asleep with my outfit on from the night before, like this black dress, whatever. So his alarm went off in the morning. He's like, I gotta go. I pretended like I was knocked the fuck out. Like I didn't even hear him say I had to go. I was like, right? And I'm thinking as soon as he left, like I got up, I wiped my makeup off, I took a shower, and I was like, I'm sleeping all day. As soon as he left, I was like, I'm never gonna hear from him again because I didn't fuck him. He blew me up, bitches. Like I think that's like reverse psychology actually works, which is weird. But he like blew me up. So maybe like a week or 2 later, we go on a first date. He takes me to like this Asian restaurant that's downtown. Mind you, if he knew me, he would know I don't like Chinese food. But whatever. I'm in leggings, a tank top, a hoodie, and he brings me to this parking lot. And my hoodie isn't zipped. Like it's one of those like hoodies that you can get like Target, black. Has a zipper. I'm wearing a white tank top with no bra underneath because I just never wear bras. So we park his fucking G-Wagon. And he goes, are you going into the fucking restaurant like that? And I said, what do you mean like that? He said, with your tits all out. I go, what do you mean with my tits all out? He's like, zip up your fucking hoodie. I was like, skirt. Excuse me? Okay, both my memory cards just ran out of space, so I had to like sit there and delete fucking memory from my memory cards, and I don't even have memory of what I was even talking about. So give me a second while I try to remember. So unprofessional. Oh yeah, okay, so we're walking to this restaurant, and like I have this thing where I like to like slap guys in the face, but I don't actually like hit them hard or anything. I just like to slap them to see what their reaction was. So he's like walking behind me, but he's talking shit the entire time he's walking behind me, and I'm like, yo, is this motherfucker dead ass? Like, is he dead ass? So I turn around and just lightly tap him across the face. I'm like, are you done talking shit now? Whoo, honey, don't do that to a Middle Eastern man. Their dicks shrivel up and their fucking dicks hide behind their fucking ball sacks. You cannot do that. He goes, did you just hit me? I'm like, yeah, it's like a love tap, like joking around, right? So the whole time we're at dinner, he's like rude to me, he's rude to the waitress. And like at this point, like I'm still like technically a bartender. So I'm like, if you're rude to the waitstaff one more time, I want to go home. Like, it's embarrassing how rude you are. So he ends up bringing me home, and like we're screaming at each other on the way home because he's like yelling at me so loud, like the veins are coming out of his neck. So he pulls up in front of my apartment, and I get out of the car, and I'm like, this dude's fucking tapped. So he like grabs me like by the back of my hair, which I think is hot, but like not in these circumstances, you know? And we just start making out aggressively, and I'm like, okay, like I like this, you know, because I'm fucked up. Like, I know I'm fucked up. But also, I'm lonely. Like, he's the first guy I've met out here, so like I'm going with the flow. So a couple days later, it's like a Friday night, and I snap that I'm in bed, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm home for the night. So he's like, I'm gonna come over. I'm like, okay, cool. So he comes over, he comes upstairs, we have sex for the first time ever. I don't really remember it because it was like almost 3 years ago, but I think it was good. I think it was fine. It must have been good because the story is I got him a thank you for the dick box. So after we got it in, or whatever, he stayed, he smoked his jewel, we chatted for a little while, and then he left and probably went to go fuck whatever bitch he like actually took to dinner. I don't know, because this is how people are in LA, and I didn't know that because I'm brand new and I don't know anybody. So the next day, mind you, I'm not broke yet because I have no idea that I was going to lose all my money living in, I don't know, a place that calls for $25.50 a month. 25. So I get him a little present for the 5 out of the 7 days of the week, the working week, Monday through Friday. Monday was a Bath and Body Works candle, and I put like little sticky notes on each thing so he like knew. And I said, Mondays are stressful, light this candle to relax before you go to bed. Tuesday, I got him a bunch of Netflix and chills snacks like Oreo cookies, chips, protein shakes. Like, I did a little bit of unhealthy shit and a little bit of healthy shit because he does own a gym, you know? So then Wednesday I bought him like a really expensive cologne. I said, wear this just for me, you know? Thursday, he told me that he had boys' night every Thursday, and his favorite liquor was Grey Goose. So I got a bottle of Grey Goose, and I said, enjoy boys' night on me. All your friends can have a drink. And then Friday, I got him a 6-pack of Blue Moon, and I put a note that said, because once in a blue moon will you ever meet a bitch like me, which is probably true. But I didn't realize that people in LA have no emotions, and that doing something like this doesn't classify as being nice. And I wrote on the cardboard box I gave it to him in, thank you for the dick. My God. He should have been making me a box that said thank you for the fucking vagina. Y'all. I just like really felt ashamed of myself for that like 40-minute, I felt like a 40-minute moment of silence. It probably was only like 40 seconds, but still, I just felt really not proud. I'm just not proud. I'm not proud of this. So in return, I would like to say that he used to date Durrani. Durrani used to, like, she'll, like, if you mention my name on her page, she'll be like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, bitch, you know exactly who I am. Bitch is fucking weird looking. I don't give a fuck. Weird looking ass, bitch ass, bitch ass, bitch. She thinks she's fucking somebody because she was on fucking Dash Dolls that got canceled. And if you look at her before and after pictures from the beginning of Dash Dolls to now, bitch, you had a lot of fucking work done. See this face? I've gotten nothing done on my face because I'm a naturally pretty ass bitch. You are trash. Trash. Like, insert garbage emoji. That's you, ho. So again, I didn't know any of this when I knew him, but when I got him the thank you for the dick box, it was my birthday week. So I gave that to him on a Monday at his gym, and then Wednesday was my birthday. So he asked me what I was doing for my birthday, and I said, oh, like, I'm new here, I'm going to Nightingale. They're giving me a table. He's like, okay, I'm gonna try to make it. I said, okay. So I go to Nightingale, blah, 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 and I have this table. The table next to me is empty. And you just, like, know when you fuck somebody, you can, like, see them from across the room. Like, I wear glasses. I'm blind as a bat. But best believe if some dude that I fucked is in the club, I will recognize the back of your head blind as shit. Like, oh, this motherfucker's in the club? He's in the club? So I see him, like, from a distance, and I'm like, is he coming to my birthday party? Like, he didn't tell me he was coming. I haven't heard from him, nothing. This motherfucker bought the table next to my table for him and his date. And then I started getting a reality check about how motherfuckers are in LA. I'm like, oh, all right, so it's Thursday. It was actually a Thursday. It's Thursday. You probably drank the Grey Goose I got you for you and your boys with this bitch. You're wearing the cologne I bought you. In the club that I told you I was going to for my birthday. And you bought the table next to me. This motherfucker must be crazy. So he gets up into my section, and I'm like looking at the people that I'm with because they know I just fucked him. And they're looking at me and they're like, just chill. I'm like, I'm not gonna chill. Because this motherfucker doesn't know me well enough to know that I don't tolerate no disrespect. I will literally bop you in the back of your head. I will knock some sense in that fucking head of yours. I don't give a fuck if we just met 24 hours ago, my dude. No. So, he is with this chick whose gap in between her teeth is like these 3 French tips together. That's how big her gap is. I'm like, oh no. And no offense to you gap tooth bitches, like, all the more power to you. But what you're not gonna do is like disrespect me and my pearly whites and make out with some bitch in front of me who's got, like, your tongue is going in her gap. I can't. I'm not about to, no, no. So I just went up to him and I said, like a very long, exaggerated, can you guys hear that? Probably couldn't hear it over the music because it was so loud in there, but that's what I was doing. So he turns around and he goes, oh, I didn't know you were here, what's up? You didn't know I was here, bro? I told you my birthday party was at Nightingale. How do you not know that I was gonna be here? So he was like, if I knew you were here, I wouldn't have come. I said, okay, well, you know I'm here now, so I'm gonna ask you to stop disrespecting me because I just fucked you a couple days ago. Remember the thank you for the dick box? You remember that? Remember when I said thank you for the dick? Because I haven't been dicked down in 8 months? Yeah, I got you that. So like, can you have a little bit of respect for me with this thing you're going home with tonight? Just like, don't disrespect me. He goes, all right, yeah, cool, I won't. I'm like, okay, bet. Cool. He continues to make out with her. And then like when he's making out with her, he'll just like turn around and look at me. And I'm like, this motherfucker is evil. He's an evil ass motherfucker. So I went up to him and I just said on the back of his head, and bitches, I don't condone domestic violence, but if some motherfuckers in the club disrespecting you, it's time to throw hands. I don't give a fuck. So he like is paying a bouncer to like protect him in the club. I'm like, you're not even important. Just because you own a gym doesn't make you important. You might be rich, doesn't mean you're important. There's a lot of rich motherfuckers out here in these streets, like real ass billionaires that don't have fucking security guards in the club to make them seem a little bit more important because you want a little bit more pussy tonight. Sorry. So I can see that he's like getting his security to get ready to kick me out on my birthday. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna exit stage left. So I get in my I call an Uber, I go home, and we stop talking. Done. Delete each other off Instagram, delete each other off fucking Snapchat, you name it, we're not cool on it anymore. So a couple months later, we're like out, and I see him out somewhere and he's like, come home with me. And like an idiot, because he's the only guy I've slept with in LA, I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back to his apartment, which was next to nice guy at the time. We go there and he has like his living room set up, and he has like this almost like a console where there's like a middle thing and then things next to it, and in the middle of his console was the cologne I bought him, like on like a pedestal. I'm like, yeah, this dude's fucked up. This dude's fucked up. He's fucked up. But whatever, we have sex, and the sex was like, this is the last time I ever had sex with him actually. It was so rough. Like, and don't get it twisted, like I like rough sex from time to time, but it was so rough that I couldn't even like catch my breath in between thrusts. Like it almost felt kind of rapey. I didn't enjoy 1 second of it, and when I was done, he was like, are you done being crazy? I'm like, nigga, I was never crazy, bro. Are you done being crazy? You have the cologne I bought you in the middle of your fucking living room, not even in your bedroom. Like, that's fucking bad shit to me. Like, bad shit. So I end up leaving, and a few weeks later, I go to Warwick. This is when I used to club like all the time. And when I was at Warwick, I was at this dude's table, and everything was cool in the beginning, but then I got a tap on my shoulder and was like, you gotta leave this table. And I go, what do you mean I gotta leave this table? I got invited to this table. He's like, you had sex with some dude, some girl's boyfriend at this in this section. I go, I haven't had sex in a very long time. I don't know what you're talking about. And it was this bitch Durrani. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I end up leaving. I go to another table, and no big deal. But outside of the club, I'm like standing on the corner, right? Because I was talking shit to her in the club, and she didn't do shit. She just sat there like a 4 foot, too much plastic surgery ass bitch, and didn't say shit. So as I'm standing outside in the corner, she pulls up in Morgan from Bad Girls Club's G-Wagon, because she used to drive it around town when Morgan was across the seas with Philip Plein, whatever his fucking name is, and used to like drive her whip without her permission, so I hear. So she pulls up in the G-Wagon, picking up her friends who were like diagonal from me talking shit. So I was like, get the fuck out the car, girl. You're gonna talk shit, get the fuck out the whip. So she's still talking shit, so I'm walking to the car, but now I'm walking towards her friends who are walking to the car. So I'm like, if she ain't gonna fuck me up, one of you bitches are gonna fuck me up, because everybody's talking shit. All y'all bitches talking shit. Like, I'm from Bad Girls Club. All right, I don't know if y'all know what that is. I don't know if you subscribers don't know what that is, but like if we're talking shit, you're either getting fucked up or you're fucking somebody up. So when somebody starts talking shit to me or some arguments are going through, like I'm prepared to get my ass beat or I'm prepared to beat ass. Like hopefully I have the upper hand and you don't really know how to fight. But let's go. So all her friends like run. Like when I tell you run into the G-Wagon and she like speeds off talking shit. So like I haven't talked to what's his face since we last hooked up, but he calls me and I answer and I go, what's up? He goes, can you fight Durrani? And I said, no. He goes, can you do it for me? I'm like, what, are you still in love with this bitch? Like, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna do that. So we're done. We don't talk to each other anymore. Now I'm dating John. Do you guys remember John? Of course you do, because I've talked to him I talked about him on my podcast. I've talked about him here and there and blah, blah, blah. But he lives in this building in Beverly Hills where you need concierge to get upstairs. Okay, like either concierge needs to bring you upstairs or the person you're visiting has to come down and get you. If neither one of those is happening, you're not getting into the building. Like it's Fort Knox. It was like this rainy Friday night and I like FaceTimed John and I was like, I want to come over, and he's like, okay, I'm calling you a car. Be outside in 5 minutes. So I pack whatever, my little slumber party bag. And I'm like, okay. So I go and I get to his building and no one is at the concierge desk. So I'm like texting him, blah, 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 blah. Like, I need to get up. He's like, come up. I'm like, I can't. Concierge isn't here. And I hear this voice behind me that's like, did you get your ass done? And I turn around and it's this motherfucker, right? That I haven't seen in over a year, maybe a year and a half. I said, no. And he's like, who do you know in this building? I go, that's none of your business. I haven't even talked to you in a year. He goes, well, I know everybody. I was like, cool story, bro. Like, I don't really care. He goes, oh, well, does he happen to have a twin brother and a neck tattoo and drive a Lamborghini? And I was like, no. And he was like, then him and his boy start texting on their phone. So I'm texting John like, I'm so uncomfortable. Please come fucking get me. And John is not picking up my phone calls or texting me back. So time goes on, whatever. John comes down to the lobby and daps these motherfuckers up right before my eyes. And I'm like, how does the love of my life associate with these pieces of shit? It just can't be. LA cannot be this small. And John is so nice and these guys are so shitty. No, this can't be it. So they go outside, they're like smoking a blunt all together because John owns a weed company. And they're like all having a normal conversation and homeboy goes, I've fucked a lot of chicks. In fact, I fucked like every chick in LA. But the craziest bitch I've ever fucked is this bitch right here talking about me. I'm like, first of all, my name's not bitch, it's Danielle, but sure, like you don't even know me. So I could tell that John is getting upset. And I'm like in love with John at this point. Like John is like the man of my dreams. Like I've called my dad, I've called my family, like I've met my husband, like, and I just feel like this dude knows how I look at him and how, like I feel like anyone that saw the way I looked at John knew how I felt about John. And if you're this dude who's a fucking psychopath who has my cologne set up in the middle of his fucking apartment building, he probably sees my love for John without any words being said and gets upset about that, because dudes just like are like competitive without even being competitive. So I feel like he was doing too much and I felt like John was getting upset and I was upset that John was getting upset, and I felt like, oh my god, is this like the end? Is this like the beginning of me and John's downfall? So I'm like looking at him and I'm like, can we go upstairs because I'm really uncomfortable? And he's like, I don't even know if I want to have you upstairs anymore. And I'm like, okay, well then call me an Uber and I'll go home. And he's like, no, chill. So I end up going up to John's and he's like, they texted me a bunch of shit talking, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna get into specifics because it's something personal. And I just start weeping. One, I was already drunk when I got there. Two, like, this is like the worst situation I could ever be in, because I looked at John like he was, I can't even put into words, even to this day, what I felt when I looked at that man. And to know that he would walk down to a lobby and dap up someone I think is like the epitome of garbage can disposal just didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me. But I'm like sitting on his couch and I'm looking at him, so in love with him at the time, and I'm like, this is the end of us, huh? Oh, this is the beginning of the end of us, because you're never gonna get over the fact that I had sex with this dude almost 2 years ago. Like, before I even knew you were born or a human being. Like, if I had a crystal ball and I knew you were coming, like, I would have waited. No one would have come before you, but like, I can't prevent that. There's nothing I can do about that. So, as I predicted and assumed, him knowing this dude that I got a thank you for the dick box was the beginning of the end of what I thought would be my last relationship on planet Earth, because I loved him so. I loved John the minute I looked at him. He was wearing, I'll never forget, he was wearing an orange, like a bright orange t-shirt, 2 gold chains, one was a cross, one was shorter, a backwards black hat, black sweatpants, and socks and slides. And I said, if a motherfucker can go out like that, comfortable as shit in socks and slides, he's the dude for me. And you know, he like was working the room, you know, talking to a bunch of Kardashian looking ass bitches. And I got up, I went to the bathroom, he was buying a drink, and I looked at him and I said, you need to start paying attention to me. He was like, oh, do I? I said, yeah. And then he asked me what I wanted to drink. I said, a glass of cab. He got me a glass of cab. And then he slowly worked his way from like his side of the table to where I was sitting at. And the minute we started talking, it was like instant chemistry. And when I met him, guys, I thought it was done. I blame this dude that I had sex with, that I regret every day of my fucking life, for ruining my relationship with this dude. Even though if he really cared about me, that wouldn't have mattered. The truth is, he didn't really ever care about me. Shit, at one point he was even liking Durrani's pictures. Like, the disrespect. LA sucks. Dating in LA sucks. Falling in love in LA sucks. Keeping a relationship that means something and is pure, and like sex is not just sex, and laying with someone is not just laying with someone, is so fucking hard and rare. When you find females like me, I don't think the men know what they have when they have it. Not this fucking dude who I regret ever sleeping with, not John. And I don't even sleep with anyone anymore, because I just like, what's the point? I've decided to be celibate, which I'll do a whole nother story time about, until I'm in a relationship. Not because I don't love sex, because everybody loves sex. I love sex, blah, 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 you know? But I will do a story time on why I am going to be celibate until I'm in a relationship. Probably the next one after this. But yeah, that is my story time. And I guess the moral of the story is, don't be nice to these motherfuckers. They like bitches that treat them like shit. Don't thank them for dick. They should be thanking you for your pussy. They should be working harder for your pussy. They should be doing more, trying harder, saying more. You should be doing less. Less is more in the grand scheme of things. When it comes to being a female, men should be doing the most. And I think it's come to a point where when females do more and do show interest and do try harder, it like throws men off, and it scares them. And honestly, I just look back on it and I was just so fucking lonely when I first moved out here. This dude was the first guy I met. and the first guy I slept with in 8 months. 8 months was almost a year, almost 365 days. So I just felt like maybe if I'm nice, he'll be nice in return, and this could be something, because I'm lonely. I'm really lonely out here. And then I meet someone who I actually genuinely like love. And LA is so small that they knew each other. And like John just like really never looked at me the same. Just never looked at me the same. Didn't matter. Literally, clearly this dude that I used to sleep with could see how much I cared about John. And I think he could almost see how much John cared about me. That's why he tried so hard to fucking be like, this bitch is crazy and da 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 da. Really? I haven't talked to you in a year. I haven't seen you in a year, but you gotta tell this, like, basically my dude right now not to fuck with me. It's because you don't want him to fuck with me. Because every single dude I've ever fucked has this weird obsession with me. Like, if I saw that dude that owns the gym right now and I said, let's get out of here, let's have sex, he would 110% have sex with me. And you know what he'd do? He'd probably take a picture or video it and like send it to fucking John. Or save it so he can send it to whatever other dude he might know that I might be in a relationship with. These dudes out here in LA are fucking bizarro, weirdo. But I hate him. I hate him, number one, because he's trash, and number two, because he got in between me and some guy I thought was the love of my life. And I feel like maybe if that night in the lobby of the building never happened, things could have been different between John and I. But that's not how life works, because everything happens for a reason. You meet people for a reason, you have a falling out with people for a reason, and shit just happens the way it's supposed to happen. But I am convinced if I never met this motherfucker, if I never touched this motherfucker, if I never whatever with this motherfucker, I wouldn't have this great story time about a thank you for the dick box, so that would have sucked, but things would have panned out differently. Anyways, that's the story. That is the fucking story time. Don't be out here buying no motherfuckers gifts, especially if they're literally only fucking you. Like, what? 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 No. 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 Don't let loneliness cloud your judgment. Don't let loneliness cloud your judgment. I'm so happy I'm celibate right now, like, straight up. I wish I was celibate when I met this motherfucker. Anyways, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but as I always say, if you're giving it a thumbs down, you probably shouldn't be on this channel. But if you like me and you like what you heard, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you already are subscribed, don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell their friends to subscribe as well. Leave a comment. I'm always reading the comments. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, XXO Danielle and Swallow It Podcast. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys to the moon and back. Until next time, bye.